How many jotos does it take to start a podcast?
3.
Alejandro,
Joaquin.
And Charlie.
Amid a pandemic, 3 brown queer men from Los Angeles connected through laughs, tears, and joterias.
Yeah, but that was all last year. A lot has happened since season 1. Now we're coming at you bigger, better, y con más orgullo.
you are about to listen to some of our personal experiences as 3 brown jotos.
Jotángeles, agarren sus bebidas, sus chucherias y súbanle a volumen porque se va a armar.
Saludos amigos, this is Alejandro. Welcome to the 3 brown jotos.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Charlie.
Hey, what's up, todes? This is Joaquin.
I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the 3 brown jotos. And this one's going to get a little calientito, eh? Se va a poner buena esta.
Yeah.
This is the episode where we want to have a little fun and we're going to talk about sex and all things kind of sex related and bring up some topics around
Sexo.
el sexo, pues sí, la
Let's
calentada.
talk about it.
So when previous to recording this episode, we did reach out on our Instagram and we posted some questions out there. And so we're kind of going to go through those questions. We're going to ask your opinions, our opinions, and then we may read some of the viewers' responses confidentially.
Anon, obviously.
Yes, anonymous, but also I want to thank everyone who did respond. But to protect your privacy, we're not going to mention any names.
We appreciate you.
Claro.
Yes.
All right, so let's start this off. I have a question that we did post, and it was my question that I thought was kind of interesting. I want to know about fetishes. When y'all are getting either starting a relationship or dating or just a sexual hookup, do you bring up fetishes? Do you bring up those things? Is it something that's already pre-known? Like, obviously, like on apps, sometimes you can list those things, but if it's not that way, like, how do you bring it up in a conversation?
A ver, friend, tú primero.
Que yo.
No más porque.
La más experiencia, Charlie.
No, I think for me, you have to feel the vibe first. Like, go on a couple dates, a ver, like, what's going on, and then you bring it up. Because I think for some people, fetishes can be a turn off. Like, hey, like on our first date, like, hey, you want to, like, lick my toes? And I'm like, what the fuck? You know? So I think you got to feel it out first. Like, you got to, like...
I mean, let's be very clear that we're not here to yuck anyone's yum.
Not
Like, we
at
appreciate
all.
everybody's stuff. Like, you do you, get down, as long as it's not illegal. Get down. You know, but yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I don't know, you're saying like dates and then you bring it up.
Or maybe not even dates, but just like feel it out first. Like don't
you
be like,
catch the
hey, my
vibe.
name's Charlie, like sit on my face or something like that.
Okay.
You know? Like,
But
Okay, I feel like I probably heard you say that before, but okay, yeah.
I was just gonna say,
I'm
isn't
like
that
at
your
the
normal
ego,
line?
like I was like, okay. I mean, I think I don't know. Like, I think for me, it's like, yeah, right. Like, it's very vibey and stuff, but also like it's also like about like naturally letting shit happen, right? And like maybe like being very honest. Like, if you're not cool with something, like being like, all right, nah, like como que no le entro a eso, right? Like, but other things, I'd be like, oh, damn, okay, so then maybe we're into it.
but I do think people should explore fetishes. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what you don't like until you try it. Yeah.
Is fetish a problematic word?
Is it
Right?
you
Like, is it like
enjoy?
something you just enjoy, or like does fetish like give it a different vibe? I don't know.
Good question. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Right?
I think what it is, it makes
Let us
it
know
very-
in the comments what y'all think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that's very more specific, right?
Okay.
Like, it's something that you specifically enjoy. So
Okay.
So let's review some of the questions that we asked on Instagram. So for the first one, we did get the majority, like, don't mention in the first date. Some said just be blunt, simply ask. Some even said don't even mention it at all.
Okay. Why do you think? Like, why not mention it?
I don't know.
Safety?
I think people are afraid to mention fetishes because of the way the other person may react, right?
Of course, yeah.
If I'm like, hey, listen, I get off by sucking toes, like that's the only way I can come, then
I'm gonna be.
it may
no.
it may be, yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
we've
I'm
talked
be
about
like, no,
this.
yeah, we
We've
have.
talked about
I'm
this
like,
fetish.
no, I'm
And-
not like a foot, like toe person. Like, that's not my thing.
and- okay, so
No, friend, I don't know.
so from
¿Qué tal si tiene callos? Fool? Like,
No,
what?
well,
Like,
obvio.
o un juanete? Like,
Obvio,
I
no.
think not.
But like a man that takes
I
care of
think
his
not.
feet, like that's
well,
sexy
yeah,
as
I mean,
fuck.
yeah, I guess.
well, and that's the thing, like
but still, you want
Ponle
them all day.
chamoy.
when we're talking about like exploring fetishes, I think that was one of the ones that I explored and got to be like, oh, this is something I really enjoy.
Okay.
And prior to, I was like, feet aren't for me. But now I'm like, oh, a hot pair of feet, and that's, I'm
Like
game.
after a
Sign
hot
me
ass
up.
day of work, yeah.
Do you guys think there's a stigma associated to fetishes?
Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
I mean, definitely. I think, maybe I was just saying something right now. Like I was, but I don't know. Like I think we all have our own stuff, right? Like that's what we're like. We say we're not like yucking anyone's yum. We're just like sharing our thoughts. But I don't know. Like there's definitely some things that I'm like, como que no.
And that's what I was going to say. I think there's an intensity on certain fetishes, right? When we're talking about like individuals who get into scat, not my particular thing. But I'm not going to shame someone for doing that. But those types of things can be like, what? You want me to do
Yeah.
So those may be, I think in my thoughts, like fetishes you may want to like proceed gently into because you may not know the response that you get based on that. Because again, there's so much stigma. People who are into fisting. May not be everyone's cup of tea, but people are into it.
Yeah.
But I also think too, don't knock it till you try it. Like there's things that I'm doing now that when I first came out, I was like, hell no. But now I'm not going to say anything.
I'm like, you don't want to share into detail what you're doing at the current moment?
No, I don't.
No, but I get you, friend. Yeah, right. Like it's all, I mean, sex and sexuality is very like fluid as well, if you're open to it, right? If that's who you are, like it could be very defining at what moment in your life, right? Like, oh, this is what I'm into. This is what I do. This is how I express myself. But then like 5-10 years later, like you also realize like, oh, maybe I like this or I'm more into this, right?
But I also encourage people to go outside their comfort zone and like maybe you'll find something you do like.
Definitely. And I think when you mentioned like safety, right? People who enjoy bondage or being tied up, there has to be a level of trust and safety there, right?
Yeah.
Because I need to know that I trust you enough to tie me up and leave me there.
I got trust issues. Like I'm not going to let myself be tied
also,
up.
And piggyback on what, not piggy because it's you, but piggybacking on what Alex said. If you are going to, engage into some fetishes, maybe you should have a safe word.
Well, that's that would be the next level. I think that was when we're talking about some of these fetishes and how you bring them up. I think that's part of that conversation, right? Once you start bringing these fetishes up, especially when we're talking about like
I have a safe word.
There's a safe word.
Should we explain what a safe word is?
Yeah, I mean, so a safe word is usually a word that you have between your partner or partners when you're having sex. So there may be a limit to the extent of pain or comfort, and at that point, you use your safe word, and it's got to be an obscure word.
Yeah.
It can't be just like end.
No, it can't be stop.
Yeah, it has to be something
like tamales,
spaghetti. Something. Yeah. I mean, not to be food related. Damn.
Fuck.
I was just waiting. I was like, okay. I was like, bro, I'm like, who cares, friend? You can do whatever you want.
So that's what
mine would be like knick knack paddywhack.
But that's what a safe word is, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be necessarily during sex. It can be any activity you guys are doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Sex has a very broad definition, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like there's a lot of things that go into sex that can.
No, absolutely.
Wait, okay, well. Yeah, no, with that in mind, what's your favorite part of sex? What? Sorry, se me sale lo pocho. What do you want me to say? Huntington Park, what's up? Florence District. Okay, so what is your favorite part of sex? Right? Because I feel like there's levels to it. I feel like I enjoy foreplay.
Oh, I love foreplay.
I love foreplay. Like the whole, like the build up, the like, like the touching, the like. Yep. I also love a good soundtrack to sex. I don't know if y'all like, but I like listening to music to like during sex.
Yes. I love music.
What, friend? You're looking at
music
me like
and lighting.
Yes. Like throw on a little like, a little kind of like pink, a magenta.
Yeah.
The red.
A pink, lavender.
Red light special.
Yeah, throw on the red.
Oh, I mean, yeah, pues el de rojo.
Throw on the red.
What kind of music do you guys like?
Okay, yes.
During sex.
I mean, I feel like I could go anything from like Portishead to like Mariah, obviously.
Really, Mariah?
Yeah, bitch. My favorite Mariah Carey sex song is Bliss. Google that shit.
Oh.
Okay.
I wouldn't think Mariah and sex.
Well, because Mariah's about heartbreak, but that's the next episode.
Oh yeah. My go-to is always R&B and like ¿cómo se dice? Like house music.
Like house.
I know it's so different. Yeah,
I like that, but it probably gives you like up tempo.
That's very
like you try to match the
sex club bathhouse music.
He tries to match the pump to the beat.
Yeah,
Freddie Duque.
Yeah, I think I also love foreplay, but I mean, I like the end of the race. Like I enjoy the end of the race. I wanna see.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Like you just want to get it over with?
Like you just...
No, but I think you're asking me my favorite part, right?
Yeah.
I like the end part. Not that I want to get there quickly.
I mean, I
What's
know
the-
that you
what's
like
the
the
end part,
end, but
though?
what's the end part, friend?
the orgasm.
Like the money
I
shot?
wanna
Oh,
see-
the
yeah,
org- the
I
money
wanna see
shot.
to the
Okay,
orgasm.
okay.
Like I want to watch my partner.
No, I do
orgasm.
too,
Like,
but that's why I think that's why I like foreplay, like, because I don't want it to end. I'm like, espérate, güey, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Charlie,
no.
so like, yo, vamos 6 horas, güey. ¿Qué te pasa?
Yeah, again.
No, that's fine. But I mean, for me personally, that's I want to see the reward after all the work.
The
that's been done.
penetration.
But also depends. If I'm on my lunch break, like, yeah, we only have like 30 minutes.
I still want to see the reward at the end of.
Yeah,
the
because
30
he still
minutes.
has to eat.
Yeah.
Like you know how she gets.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other question did we ask Alejandro?
The next question was: is there a difference between the sex in a relationship versus sex while you're single? Joaquin, let's have you start with this one.
Let's see. I mean, I feel like I don't know. It could be either way, right? I feel like when you have a partner, obviously it's much more intimate. There's a different connection. Like when you have like in a relationship, like maybe you've had these conversations, you figured some of these things out.
The fetishes are out there.
Like,
doing all
like the
those
things that you like, right? Like there's communication, all that stuff.
You know each other's bodies.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a comfort level and like trust and all that. And I mean, I think when you're single, like at least from my experience, it's more so like, oh, let me try all this stuff out. Like, I don't know. It's a very hard question, I feel, sometimes to answer, because also like sex could be very defining to you, right? And what you want it to be. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, single sex, I mean, it's fun. Any sex is fun.
Sex is
But I
fun,
think,
honestly.
In my experience, single sex is more of a guessing game. Like, I don't know if he likes this yet. Or like, what if I do this, le va a gustar? Or like, what if, I don't know, I don't last
It's also
long
like
enough.
that, como like, how do we like playing that tango, right? Of like,
But there
like,
is
how do we
also
seduce
some,
each other?
There is some thrill on that as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like like
Anon?
I'm sorry.
Anon sex? Is that, friend?
that
you
what
can
you were-
say
yeah,
it.
you
It's
can
just a safe
definitely
space.
say it.
I wasn't saying anonymous, but yes.
Oh, I was just going based off of like app lingo, I guess. Right? Is that what they use? Anon? Anon?
But I don't know. I feel like in relationship sex, I really enjoy it. I think, like Alejandro says, there's a trust level already that's have been developed. I don't know, and I feel like you can try a lot more in a relationship, but maybe I'm wrong, and it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it switches up for everybody, right? It depends on what kind of relationship you have, also like the agreements and like all that.
I just think, my friends or whatever, like in a relationship, sometimes you have a tendency to be stagnant in like a routine. Like, okay, we already know what's gonna happen.
That could be
that's
that
why
too.
it's always like, for me, I'm always trying to find different things to keep it spicy, keep it new.
Ooh,
like
okay,
especially during the
friend.
pandemic, like shit, we weren't going anywhere. Like, let's buy this toy or let's wear this and that, and like you gotta.
Isn't that when you learn how to do the splits too, friend?
No, I'm still not there yet. I still can't even do the duck walk, so no. I call it the pig walk.
That sounds about right.
That sounds more appropriate.
Definitely.
Friend, wait, you didn't answer the
Yeah,
question.
what about you, Alex?
I think there is, again, based on all of that, I think there is definitely a difference. I think that across all like relationship types, you build a level of trust and a communication that you have between your partner or partners, or, however that works for you. And sometimes when you're having single sex, either anonymously or just hookups, like you are playing that guessing game. Like, is this going to be good? Like, is this going to be worth my time? Like, is this, you know, nothing. You go into these situations almost knowing nothing. And I think you're like, it's not to say that people are not being safe when they're having these sexual encounters, but you're also then almost playing a little bit more with your sexual health, because you are experiencing having more, potentially more partners if you're having single sex. Not to say that people in relationships don't have open relationships and they're not bringing people in, but again, I think there's...
Yeah, that's a whole different episode.
I think it's it goes hand in hand with this, right? Because if you are going to be sex positive, you should also be sexual health positive as well. Like you
I definitely agree, right? Like there's definitely ways, or like there's definitely things that we need to do to take care of ourselves, right? And exploring our sexuality and our sex and the things that we like, right? I mean, we do that as work 24/7, right? So I mean, just real quick, for anyone who needs access to resources around testing, around HIV testing, STI testing, PrEP, PEP, care,
DM us,
you know, care for your status and support, you know, all that stuff. Like, hit us up, because that's really, you know, what us also having these conversations is about, is like promoting safety and like what that means to you all. Because I think it's also important, like having a game plan.
Definitely.
Right? Like, we have a game plan around sex. Like, we talk about, oh, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. But we should also have a game plan around like safety around sex.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, right now is a perfect example, right? We're going through this new thing of monkeypox right now. And, you know, some of us have been blessed with being able to access getting vaccinated. And I know there's still a large portion of the community who hasn't accessed that. And so even talking about that, like that's a whole new spin on this level. We just came out of a pandemic where it was like, don't see nobody, don't
touch
do any of that.
Yeah, don't be around nobody.
And now we're experiencing a whole different spin on with monkeypox. And we're talking about like, you know, it could be as easy as getting a vaccination, but it also could be as easy getting it by just having contact with someone. Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's important that we do bring up these things because they do go hand in hand. And is single sex and relationship sex different? Yeah, definitely. I mean, but there are also some commonalities there. With that said and done, this is Three Brown Jotos
Out.